Dekumon here, and welcome back to the Final Fantasy XIV class and job quests. It's been a little bit since we've done this. Last time we cleaned our way up, got the Black Mage done. Felt like I could throw one of these. What the heck was that? I have no idea. There was just this random flash. Somebody trying to take a picture of me while I'm sitting here doing my recording? But yes, I'm still in the midst of figuring out what to play. I kind of have narrowed it down to one of two possibilities. So I will figure that out. In the meantime, however, I figured that we still have a crap ton of jobs to get through. After all, that wheel is only going to get bigger with the expansions, and I want to make sure I am reasonably close to being fully caught up with that beforehand. So let's hop over to the wheel. I gotta say, as this wheel starts to get a little bit smaller, I keep worrying more and more that I'm gonna run into something that I don't actually have leveled. Alright, come on, big bucks, no whammies, no whammies! Shit, I can't do... Alright, we gotta spin again. We cannot do samurai. But Astro we can do. This should be rather interesting because you actually have to have a 50 class in order to do this, but then it immediately jumps back down to level 30 because that's where the Astrologian starts. Weird. Also, I think this might be the first of the classes that I get to do for this where it's not fully leveled yet. As you can see, my Astro is 91. More than high enough to do all of the class and job quests, but not yet at the level cap. As for our Samurai, well, as you can see on my thing here, Samurai is like my lowest class. So when I saw that one hit the wedge, I was like, I have to respin. I'm so sorry. Anyway, our first quest for today. Greetings and welcome to the Aetherium Astrolocum. Perhaps you were drawn by fate to this place of learning, or perhaps you wish to know more of fate itself. Yes, I would like to know more of fate, and there was a nod already. Then you were wise to come hither, for in the stars are written the fate of every woman and man on Hydaelyn. It was there in the stars that I read a man would call upon the Aetherium this very day, a man who would play an important role in my own life. But my apologies. Even the most skilled reader cannot scry a name from the heavens. Would you be so kind as to give me yours so I might know who is to be my newest protege? I will become your protege. There we go. Dang, another nod. Dekumon. Well, I was not expecting that. But what is a name but an attempt by our begetters to wield power over the lives of their sons and daughters? Lives whose patterns have already been foretold. In a sense, that is. My name is Jean-Claude de Durandel. I apologize for the French butchering I just did. I didn't have enough of that in freaking Expedition 33. And I am an Astrologian for the Holy See. Remember that name, for it shall echo forevermore in the annals of Ishgardian history. Well, it will once I put it there. Once we put it there. Confident at least. Anyway, next quest, quote unquote. Yeah, that was literally the first quest. The next one is Stairway to the Heavens. Oh, by the way, I don't put these very often near the beginning, but if you enjoy this sort of content, please leave a like, leave a comment, feed the almighty beast that is the YouTube algorithm. Now, where to begin? I suppose I could consult my divining deck for an answer, but that would be too easy now, wouldn't it? Very well, at the beginning it is. Astrology, or the reading of the stars, is a branch of astrological science which originated in distant Garlean. There have been astrologians in Ishgard for thousands of years, but it wasn't until 3 centuries ago when Arundel the Younger learned that the movement of the stars could also be used to foresee the movements of the Devranian horde that the field became popular. Since then, what was once a single science has bifurcated into 2 similar yet ultimately different schools of learning: the Garlean school of astrology and the Ishgardian school. The former placing a focus on tapping celestial ether and transforming it into beneficial magics, or astromancy, the latter specializing solely in determining the actions of our dragon enemies to the north. I am a student of the former, the only student of the former here in Ishgard, and have been actively seeking a partner with whom to conduct my research. I just thought that thing. That's why Eorzea swaps to Astro. Because this is originally a Garlean art. Weird that it's in Ishgard, but I guess, Ishgard expansion and all. Let's just say that my fellow astrologians have been less than approving of my path. But that is simply because they are afraid of what they do not know. Once they do know of how Garlean astrology can benefit the sea and its soldiers, they will feel foolish for ever having doubted me. Well, us. Now you will be joining me, will you not? Walking the path that has been laid out before you, instead of stubbornly denying your fate, postponing the inevitable. Don't worry, I'll get involved. I see you've wasted no time in making your decision. Like I always say, the stars are never wrong. They just might be a little early or late. Alas, even a lifetime of study and training cannot unlock all the secrets written in the stars. Myself, I've been a student of the astromatic arts for more summers than I can count, and I still often misread the signs shown to me in the skies. Though, my readings are far more accurate now than they were when I attended the Athenaeum in Sharlayan. Not the Sharlayan, mind you, the colony that once thrived in the Dravanian hinterlands. Oh, Idleshire. I can recall my time there like it was but yesterday. The first 6 moons, I was not even allowed to touch the Deck of 60, let alone conduct a reading with the major arcana. Most of my time was spent in a scriptorium transcribing old tomes on astrological fundamentals, such as the 6 elemental houses, divine duplicity, class triplicity, house modality and polarity, dignity versus detriment, and so on and so forth. I abhorred the task, and would tirelessly pester my instructors as to when I might actually be granted the opportunity to weave a spell or perform a reading. It wasn't until the end of the 6th moon that I realized all that transcribing had prepared me with the essentials that I would need to do those very things. The positions of the celestial bodies within the 6 elemental houses, and their relations to the major and minor arcana of the Deck of 60, therein lie the secrets to tapping the ethereal power locked in the heavens. And soon you too will become privy to those secrets. Oh, but not this day. Oh no, I would not have you transcribe bastille tomes like I was once forced to do. No, the task I have for you is much more interesting. You see, I am expecting the arrival of a very important guest. My old mentor from the studium has agreed to make the journey from the old world to Ishgard and speak with the Holy See regarding the implementation of Sharlayan astrological techniques in city-state defense. Alas, the professor and his party are now fully 7 days late in arriving, and I've begun to worry for their safety. I should be much obliged, therefore, if you will inquire of the other astrologians here at the Athenaeum if they have heard aught. Okay. Just talk to people. Sure. Why would Lord Janicord think I had information on the whereabouts of a handful of unbelievers from across the Bloodbound Sea? I am an astrologian, not a fortune teller. I cannot simply look to the stars and scribe the location of the Viscount's guests. Unless his guests are dragons, that is. I suppose if anyone knew aught, it would be the Observatorium. We here at the Aetherium are but students dedicated to research. Those with any influence in our field are assigned to the astroscope. Huh. Well, he did say everyone here is basically single-minded about the dragons. Let me guess, the good Lord Janicord said he saw you in a vision, and that the stars told him that you were to study Sharlayan astrology with him. Am I close? You must be the 100th of his little pets to pester me this week alone. I harbor no ill will toward ignorant unbelievers unlucky enough to find themselves caught up in talk of stars and fortunes, but you may tell that sorry excuse for an astrologian, for the umpteenth time, that I have heard naught concerning his imaginary friends from faraway Sharlayan. Just do not tell the Viscount I called him a sorry excuse for an astrologian, all right? That was cute. What about you, sir? Or ma'am? I'm sorry. Nope, you are a ma'am. Janicord is still waiting for word on the missing Sharlayans, instead of actually making an effort to find them now, is he? Oh, of course he is. Is it any wonder that in the nearly 15 years since his return from Sharlayan, his skill in astromancy has remained unchanged? Any wonder that he has never yet managed to convince a single peer of the value of the Sharlayan school? He is a privileged little sprat who spends more time gazing at the stars in young maidens' eyes than actually trying to read the ones above his head. All right. You tell the poor man I just returned from the observatorium, and one night at the communal feasting hall happened to overhear Chief Astrologian Forlamont speaking with one of his aides regarding Sharlayan. He was visibly upset, and I wasn't about to risk my career over something I care little about. So I merely put my head down and ate my best soup. But that is all I know, and you did not hear it from me. Huh. Sounds like I'm going to be heading to the observatorium here in short order. Master Fulmont? And I thought this day could not get any worse. Oh no, I'm not suggesting that meeting you in any way has been unfortunate. It is just that it may not be in our best interest to see together as of yet. There are certain people here in the sea who do not approve of my studies. Couple that with the fact that you are an outsider and an unbeliever, and, well, people may come to the wrong conclusions. We must act with caution until we can prove that our intentions are just and for the good of all Ishgard. So I must ask you to travel to the observatorium alone and meet me there. Okay. That's a long intro quest. I haven't even technically unlocked Astrologian yet. there you are. Finally made it up here. I do not like it when I have to come all the way up to the observatorium. Dekumon, allow me to apologize again for not accompanying you here. As for our business with the Chief Astrologian, you may leave the talking to me. Okay. Jellicod. I might have known it would be you. Who else would be so indecent as to drag an outsider into this holy place of observation? You have always had an unhealthy obsession with the foreign. 'Tis why you are as worthless as the Ethereum now as you were when you returned from that hot heathen city a decade and a half since. Sheesh. But the stars, they can serve us in other ways than merely revealing what the Horde will attack. Their powers can be tapped. The ether within can be used for... The ether should be left be. Has history taught you naught about the folly of the Nimians? The Amdapori? The Maki? Mine uncle, the Sharlians, have been wielding astromancy for ages without disrupting ethereal balance. This power, combined with Ishgardian astrology, could be what is needed to turn the tide of this 1,000-year conflict. Moreover, I have reason to believe that our masters at the Vault agree, as they have given me their blessing to continue my research. But I did not come to trade barbs with you, Nuncle. Let us save that for another time. I am here because it has come to my attention that you may have information as to the whereabouts of Professor Mace and his party from Sharlian. For someone who says he is not here to trade barbs, you have been quite generous in your dealings with them today. If it means you will leave and allow me to return to my work, I'd be more than happy just to let you know what information found its way to my desk just yesterday morn. Serpent River sightings and foul weather prevented the Professor's ship from entering the Strait of Melthor, where they would have made their way up the Maiden and into Caerthus. After detouring around the south of Vilbrand, they finally disembarked at Vesper Bay, where they took the land route along the Royal Allegan Sunway to the Black Shroud. It is there, it seems, they lost their way. A lost Astrologian, It is as my morning reading predicted. Dalamud was in detriment in the House of the Spire while ascending over the ecliptic. Dekumon, you must journey to the Black Shroud and assist Professor Mace. Allow me to introduce you to Kimpiern. He's my personal manservant and shall accompany you. Okay. I imagine he'll be my tank for any upcoming duty calls. And again, I don't even have the class yet, so why would they give me duty calls? He is not one for conversation, but his sword arm is amongst the best in all the pillars. He should see you safe if any danger were to befall you, and something tells me danger lurks on the horizon. Okay. 2 nods there, nice. I suppose this is a Heavensward class. I need a voice for you then. It is a pleasure to serve you, my lord. I shall make haste to Quarrymill and await you there. Okay. Kinda like that. It came out pretty decent. There you are. Hiding amongst the people waiting to go into the Palace of the Dead. Hang on. I'll get to you eventually. There we go. My lord, I have questioned the residents of this hamlet and learned that a party of queerly dressed outsiders passed through not but a bell ago. It should not prove overly difficult to find them now. But before we begin, might I ask a moment of your time? I would not dare utter aught ill of my master, but his recent fixation with finding a protege, I believe it ill-considered. This passion, however pure, has left him with more than one enemy within the astrological community. Lord Volamont has seen to this. I fear not only for how his name might be sullied, but for his life. I beg of you, pray do not drag him any further down into this quagmire. Let him quietly dabble in his dream, but let it remain at that, a dream. No good will come of encouraging him. It will only hurt the Viscount and his family. You must remember that while I serve Lord Janequard, it is his uncle, the Count, who employs me. Now, as for the task at hand, I suggest we find the wayward travelers and hurry back to our respective hearths. I shall lead. Might I ask you to take the rear and see that none make us unawares? Huh. That's interesting. No faith! That's not a good sign. Oh dear, and who might these people be? Oh dear goodness, and they've got our frickin' trainer. These are the Sharlians we seek, and it appears that they have found themselves some trouble. That does happen. Unhand my grandfather! Ha! Feisty! You'll fetch a fine price for that one from the pleasure barge captains. Oh, I imagine this is my soul crystal about to pop up. Yes.
The soul has spoken.
Okay, definitely not the right voice for this character. Yeet.
Grab the old man. These wizard types carry on them all manner of big gemmed baubles and golden trinkets. Like the one you just tossed into the bushes over there. Make sure you get that one too.
Up, or I'll toss it to the snakes.
Easy there. You want to see the old man again? You leave us the girl. Try anything and he's a dead. Wait!
Stupid cutscene won't let me fight.
Seriously, how did nobody notice that? Look at that thing! It's gonna blind somebody!
Grandfather's soul crystal. Why would he leave it here? Surrendering any power he might have had to free himself from those bandits.
I'm gonna give you a slightly deeper voice so I'm not, like, destroying my throat, because I imagine you're gonna be a rather major character.
Unless you were the one he saw in the reading before we left the old world. But that was more than a moon ago. My grandfather scried from the cards that he would serve as the bridge for countless souls to be passed to another. Might you be that other?
Maybe.
These men of the forest are careless. Tracking them will be no difficult feat. I shall follow and strike before they have time to regroup in numbers.
Why not?
The stars have spoken and laid their path not before you, but before the adventurer here.
Oh, lucky me. Hey look, it's that thing I've got equipped right now.
You must take the soul of the Astrologian and place it near your heart. Listen to the tales of those who walked before you, and know their journeys as you do your own. As for the tools you require and the knowledge needed to wield them, I, Lavina, shall see to those matters. You saw there was no fear in my grandfather's eyes when the bandits took him. This is because he has seen you come to his rescue. Our lives were written in the stars long before we trod upon this land. It is not by chance that you stand here today with the sword of the Astrologian in your hand. It is fate.
Huh. I call it a roll of the wheel, but sure. Ah, that completes the quest. Was not expecting that. There we are. Astrologian unlocked. Yes, somehow I already am one. Fortune favors the Bole. Oh my god.
Now, listen carefully, for we haven't much time. The star globe which you hold is both your sword and shield. It will grant you strength as well as protection. But most important of all, it will grant you insight into the current location of the stars, enabling you to channel the heaven's ether into your body for use in all manner of magics. The better attuned you become with the heavens and their malefic and benefic bodies, the better that ether might be manipulated to bring succor or pain. But as you already know, the star globe is not the only tool an astromancer has at his disposal. Yes, the arcana, or more specifically, the 6 major arcana play a defining role in what type of astrologian you will become. Any layman will tell you that the cards can predict a man's future. This is both true and untrue. It is not the future that the card predicts, but the card influencing the man, so that a certain future becomes more attainable.
Huh. That's an interesting way to look at divination.
Seeking to tell a man's fortune, you draw a card from your deck. Upon reading the card, you scry that the man will be victorious in a coming battle. What it is that brings this man his victory but an ether tap from one of the lower 6 heavens, granting the man strength, making it all that much easier for him to overcome his enemy. Of course, what card is drawn is linked directly to the target's destiny, as well as yours. Are you the one who will see this man to fortune, or will you lead him to downfall? It all depends on your reading. Normally, I would not dare cover so much in the first lesson, but it is my grandfather who has placed his life in your hands, and I am not about to watch him have his throat slit, because you cannot tell the face of an arcana from its back. We have two seemingly capable soldiers here to take the brunt of the bandits' blows. Allow them to carve a trail of carnage, while you convince the stars to nudge the two in a direction favorable to my kin. I understand this must be a lot to digest all at once, but if you are to ever become a capable astrologian, you must believe in the path laid out before you, and in your power to read it, follow it, and, ultimately, control it. Take some time to acclimate yourself to your new abilities, and let me know when you are ready to begin.
You have learned all Astrologian actions and traits to level 30, plus 60 on top of that. I imagine her discussion hasn't changed much since the class has changed. Way back when, aka pre-Dawn Trail, you basically had a draw action. You had a single draw action, and it drew one of 6 random cards, as opposed to nowadays, where you have 2 draw actions that you cycle between that give you 3 different guaranteed cards. I personally like the modern one a little better. It's a lot less RNG.
I see in your eyes that you are ready. Whether that actually makes you ready or not, only time will tell. Time, unfortunately, is something that we no longer have in abundance. Let us take to the shadows and find out where these bandits are holding my grandfather. May the stars be our guide.
Alright. Sync me to level 34. Just to say, I'm not super fond of doing healer duty calls because they usually expect me to heal the NPCs, and that can be a trick. Take a card. Take more cards. You can have all the cards. I'll blast these guys. Give you a combust. Watch their HP at this point because that's all we really need to do. Nice. You guys did good. Hold on. Okay, they're regenerating.
This is a card from my grandfather's deck. He's leaving us a trail to follow. Dekumon, its power is now your own.
Oh, right, yeah. This was also back in the original missions. You originally only had, you had like no cards. And you got the cards through the missions. As you can tell, that has clearly changed. Because at this point, I already have access to all 6 cards. Are they following me? Yes, they are. That's good, because I really don't want to have to deal with this many people on my own. Oh, fuck me. That. Malefic, 1 or 2 of these guys, try and knock out some numbers. Give him some healing, because he really could use it. There we are. Are you kidding me with that AoE attack? Bullshit. There. Did you drop another card? No, he did not. I imagine I need to come over here and pick up another card. Come on, guys, don't leave me hanging. These guys ain't that tough. I just need you guys to pull them off me. There you go. Bust that. They got this covered. I'll grab the Ewer card that's hiding over here. They got it covered. Now I'll come over here and pick up the arrow card that there's missing. There's a lot of just random stray enemies around. Let me just grab this without pissing off the other 2. There. Probably unnecessary to grab all those, but hey, the game's gonna be like, you should take these. Then I'll be like, oh, fine, I'll take them. Oh dear. Wow, they actually let me get that. I'm surprised. Oh, and then I get my ass rooted? How dare you? Ooh, we have a healer here. Hang on. No healers. Guys, no healers. No healers allowed. Should know better. God, he just left cards everywhere. Come on, man. Pick up your cards. That didn't do near enough damage for me to care. Yeah, I know I'm using cards suboptimally, that's fine. I don't have divination at this level, no? Didn't think so. I don't wonder if I'm required to pick up all the cards as part of this or not. Might as well. They're here. I can. They're effectively just giving me a path. Watch you get to the end and be like, you're still missing a card. Bandit leader. Oh, you're the target. Small fry out of here as best we can. Oh, he made a freaking monster? That's not gonna stand. Dealt with. Gotta make sure I get the right target here. Put some damage into this thing. There it goes. Actually wasn't too terrible. But I do hope some of these upcoming quests up to the level 50 point are a bit on the shorter side. Alright.
I was not told there would be 2 Astrologians. Enough of this.
Rather piddling little run that she had. Just more of like a meander more than anything.
I am Quimperin, in the employ of Lord Janiquard. I am sent to escort you back to Ishgard. Are you unhurt, my lord?
Janiquard, you say? And where is my former student? His constant pestering is one of the reasons I agreed to make the long trip from the old world.
I see none but Quimperin and this adventurer.
I too have seen no other. Don't worry, he's back in Querthus.
Just like you didn't see those bandits until their knives were off our asses. But that is no matter. It was all as the stars had foretold.
Oh, alright.
Yes, I saw this adventurer long before even setting foot on this accursed continent, when the Arcana whispered and told me I would find a worthy successor for my soul crystal.
And having witnessed how he eased into his new role, but mere moments after taking up the crystal globe and deck.
Yes, I knew at once my reading was true, and that this adventurer was the Astrologian that I had been seeking. But now, let us see if he has the potential for greatness within him.
I'm pretty sure I do, considering all I've done. But sure, go ahead and test me. It's gonna pull a card out of his deck and it's gonna light itself on fire.
Look to the skies, Dekumon, And there you will see the 6 stars aglow in pale yellow. This is the Bole.
Is this the Bole people smoke out of?
This constellation is thought to be the gate to the first heaven, the heaven which holds the World Tree. Planted by the matron and nurtured by the keeper, the World Tree is the source from which all life is said to have sprung. The trunk of the World Tree, or the Bole, grants strength to the weak, allowing them to stand firm in the face of adversity.
Ah, there it is.
You have now opened that gate, and its power is yours to command. A solid Bole represents a solid foundation. It is not coincidence that this very constellation has risen to mid-heaven at this very moment. The moment of a new Astrologian's birth. And to think I saw all of this a moon ago. It seems I am a better reader of face than I thought. But I jest. It has been a long journey, with more than its share of unexpected excitement. I am an old man, and one does not need a deck of arcana to see that my weary legs will not carry much longer. Let us make haste to Ishgard, so I may give that ungrateful Janaquad a proper upbraiding.
Is that like the academic term from an ass beating? The Bole blazes in the welkin, unlocking the gate. Yeah, they clearly did not rewrite the class quests here to change this, because these all show up at level 30 now. No real surprise there. I mean, considering how often that poor Astro has gone through changes, I wouldn't expect them to try rewriting the class quest every time they make a change to accommodate the change that they made. It would be nice, but it's a lot of unnecessary work. Better just leave it as a relic of the old days. I imagine these 4 will be our primary cast for a good while.
Janaquad, 15 summers passed, and still the flippant cord I lost half of my hair tutoring. Sending an adventurer to find the man you summoned halfway across Hydaelyn. Always taking the easy route, and you wonder why you still have been able to open the second heaven's gate.
Allow me to explain, Professor. You see, I was waiting here in case you made it to Ishgard, before my manservant in Dekumon could locate you. Think of the confusion had you arrived here only to find the Ethereum empty. Wait, how did you know I haven't opened all the gates? My grandfather is the greatest astrologian in all of Sharlayan. There is naught he doesn't know, unless he doesn't wish to know it. You of all people should know that.
Oof.
Perhaps I was hasty in my decision to remain here and see to your training. What, trade me? You? But what of Professor Mace? Isn't that why he made the journey? My grandfather has already completed his task. He simply came to Ishgard out of courtesy to an old pupil, one who it appears has wasted years on.
Oof.
Wait, wasted? What are you implying, my lady?
My dear Lavina, you still do not see it, do you? Without Janaquad stumbling into my tutelage nearly 2 decades past, he never would have taken this adventurer under his wing and sent him to us in his stead. It was all as the stars had planned.
Wait, I'm just a stepping stone? Your soul crystal, Professor. This adventurer has stolen your soul of the Astrologian.
Worthy unobservant, Shan. If this adventurer has stolen my crystal, Lavina would have read him some terrible fate for the lad. No, Dekumon is my successor. Something I mistakenly thought you might be. But even I cannot see every future, it seems. But do not despair. I have not given up on you completely. Despite your failings, you have tried your best to promote the Sharlayan School of Astrology here in the Den of Fools, who fail to see aught and all beyond the Dragon Star. I wish to see you continue that fight. And that is why I bade Lavina to remain here and further your, and this adventurer's, training.
Oh, okay. So she's my actual trainer, you're just, like, the student I work alongside now.
I see. This is all rather overwhelming. Might I have some time to consider your words? No, time's up. No, you either continue your training with me and your, protege, or you crawl back to obscurity. I shall give you both several turns at the sun to study the basics of Sharlayan astrology. It should not be so hard for you, Janaquad, considering you've had a substantial head start. Once you've committed the basics to memory, then return here. In the meantime, I will be traveling Eorzea, searching for locations where Dekumon, and you will unlock the remaining Heaven's Gates. But you were only recently set upon by bandits. Perhaps traveling alone so soon is unwise. Oh, don't you think I know that? That is why you will be lending me the services of your able manservant, Quimperin. I will? I mean, yes, I will. Yes, of course, Lady Davina. Anything for the granddaughter of Sharlayan's finest professor of astrology. Quimperin, you heard the lady?
That is... I like this questline already.
Very good. I shall see my grandfather to the airship landing now, but rest assured that if you neglect your studies, I will know.
Fine. I'll at least get them high enough that I can do the last of the quests. Oh wait, I already did. I only need to be 80 to do the last of the quests, and I'm already 11 levels higher than that. The next Astrologian quest will be available from Janaquad upon reaching 35. The requirements are in your journal, in case you somehow forget. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. Hanging in the Balance. I think all of these actually have the names of the various cards.
Greetings, Dekumon. The stars tell me you have been rigorously following Lavina's training regimen, though I harbor doubts that go out and do things while I trapace around the realm constitutes a regiment. Still, she is all we have, so I suppose we have to make do. And as the stars would have it, she has just sent word that she is ready for us to attempt the opening of the second Heaven's Gate. You are aware of the 7 heavens, are you not? Just as there are 7 realms of the underworld, so too are there 7 realms of the firmament. Each of the first 6 represents one of the 6 basic elements: earth, ice, water, wind, lightning, and fire. The 7th and final heaven representing the element's astral polarity.
I think I was there last expansion, when we were fighting the 12.
The first 6 heavens are represented by the 6 constellations, which each resolve around the pole star. Astrologians of the Sharlayan school draw on the ether contained in the celestial bodies representing the constellations by unlocking, or opening, the gate to heaven that constellation is correlated with. There's no actual gate. Think of it more as a portal to the soul. You are opening your mind, allowing for attunement with these distant bodies, much like one attunes with an aetherite, but on a far grander scale. Now this may come as a revelation, but Hydaelyn is not flat like most believe. It is in fact a sphere so large that when we walk upon it, it only appears to be flat. Because it is a sphere, there are some locations better suited than others for observing certain constellations.
Why would people think the planet is flat? And again, I always wonder that about people out here in the real world, so go figure.
That is what Lavina is doing right now, finding a location on which the next Heaven's Gate will rise to a position directly in mid-heaven, where it would be easiest to attune with. And it seems that she has found one, near the final prayer in Eastern Thanalan.
I can handle there, no problem. Well, at least there's no duty calls here. Although it does look like she had herself a little scuffle.
Here at last, I see. Bandits have kept poor Quimperin busy, but harrying our camp since we arrived. I do believe the old man enjoys the excitement, however. I'm certain to be swiping the ass of a noble brat whoring away his uncle's fortunes, while dreaming of becoming a real astrologian. I am very well capable of wiping my own ass, thank you very much. And Quimperin has never once complained of his duties. Not to me, at least. Oh, of course he hasn't. Your uncle pays him to smile and nod, and I'm sure a comfortable position in the pillars beats chasing after cloud rats in the broom to flavor his soup. Are we here to trade banter, my lady? Because I was led to believe that we'd be unlocking a celestial gate. You will find Quimperin has a good many uses, and I haven't the faintest doubt that he will most ably handle any ruffians who happen to come stumbling about looking for prey. Now, Dekumon and Janaquad, we must be patient and wait for the constellation to reach its highest and brightest point, a point at which its flow of ether is the strongest in relation to Hydaelyn.
Okay. I will sit here and I will wait for the stars to rise at 7 in the morning, Eorzean time. We might be here for a while, guys. That evening...
There, Dekumon! The balance! Focus on the constellation and attune to its power. The balance represents the heaven of fire, a realm made prosperous by the blessing of the traders, but at the same time, one whose equilibrium is maintained by the divine judgment of Azimia, the Warden.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, I think we definitely did fight in all those realms.
Azimia's might will empower those who would take up their blades and meet divine punishment in the name of the Sun Goddess.
Yep, I remember her and her fans.
And thus has the balance burned crimson in your heart, unlocking the gate to the second heaven. Shanakord, have you been listening at all at this? God dang it, he hasn't at all, not one bit. Now, let us speed ourselves to the next location, Little Alamigo. Why so soon, you ask? Would you rather that I had you commit yourself to another several moons of using Malefics to put down hedge moles? I thought not.
I mean, I have no problem, but sure.
The balance blaze is in the welkin, unlocking the gate to the second heaven.
Ah, there's the squad.
Oh, be patient, Dekumon. Allow the stars to make their ascent into mid-heaven. Once they have, survey the skies and let the power run through you.
Ma'am, apparently it took me all night to get here and it's now 8 in the morning. Yeah, I know, cutscene time versus real time, but still. It's just hilarious that you want me to go stargazing in the wee morning hours. Actually, at this point, it's just morning hours. And then quite handily, it's nighttime as soon as I'm done waiting around.
Raise your eyes to the stars and witness the violet glow of the spire.
Oh, so we're actually going to get 2 this time around.
In the third heaven rises an iron tower of spinning gears and taut springs, constructed by the builder himself. It is assailed without cease by the jealous Ralga, but the destroyer's mighty 11 bolts only serve to power the spire's clockwork soul.
Yeah, I do remember that.
It is through the blessing of both creation and destruction that strength is granted to he who sees his stars rise under this sign.
Looks like the Crystal Tower, to be honest.
You have now opened the gate, and its power is yours to command. Using the Arcana to draw upon the powers of the stars they represent, this path we walk as Astrologians is called the Royal Road. It can be treacherous and fraught with peril, but it can lead men to greatness.
I do kind of miss that skill. We actually did have a skill way back when called Royal Road.
Nice.
I believe, if memory serves, it was basically the redraw skill. Basically, you can dump the card you had and draw another one.
The spire blaze is unlocking the gate to the third heaven. And she wants to keep going. Alright.
Your realm is quite the paradox. On one hand, it is full of life, magic, and wonder, one of the richest lands on all Hydaelyn. On the other, it is literally brimming over with strife.
Yeah, that just tends to happen, I'm afraid.
Take Little Alamigo, the wretched souls displaced from their homes by the flames of war. On Ishgard, mired in its own pointless conflict with an enemy so old, it does not even remember why it fights. Now the foolish believe that it is their fate to suffer, and so they turn their gaze away from the stars, when those self-same stars have the power to show people that there are many paths. But that power can only be channeled by the few, those like me and you, and to a lesser extent Shanaquad. And it is our duty to use that power to benefit those who remain lost or misguided. Remember that, and maybe one day you will truly become my grandfather's successor.
Yeesh.
Oh, that is exactly what I've been trying to tell the Astrologians of my home nation. Why disregard something that has the power to grant succor to the wounded, the power to uplift the downtrodden, to strengthen the weak? Oh, the answer to that is easy. Empowering those with that power lessens the power of those who already have it. Heal the weak so that they might rise up and topple those who made them weak. Why would anyone in a position of power do that? Even our great nation of learning is corrupted by this manner of thought. We hoard our knowledge so that we might remain the brightest.
Yeah, that's the truth of it.
Why do you think that it took so long for Professor Mace to visit you, Shanaquad? Yes, I know what he told you, but that was not the whole of it. Those of the ruling quarter did their damnedest to stand in the way of my grandfather, worried that his passion for his field would kindle widespread interest in Charlie and astrology. They only allowed him his recent trip, knowing that he was now too old to do aught of the sort. Fortunately, the ruling quarter did not realize that I would be accompanying my grandfather. Dekumon, these past turns of the sun have been most fruitful. Yet while you have opened half of the Heaven's Gates, there is still much of what we'd like to refer to as the Royal Road ahead of you. Take what you have learned here in the southern deserts and transform that knowledge into strength. If you wish to know more of the Royal Road, I suggested you discuss it with Shanakor back in Ishgard. If my grandfather is to be believed, his time transcribing tomes back at the Studium Scriptorum should have left him more than capable of handling that simple of a task. Why must you always treat me like this?
Alright, Jennicard, I'm back.
Oh, you wish to know more of the Royal Road? I seem to recall it has something to do with the reassessing the attribution of an arcanum before reading it, which would result in a slight alteration of predestination. Or perhaps it had something to do with the kings and queens of the minor arcana. Oh, it was over a decade ago.
Like I said, it was a redraw skill.
Next up, a lesson in patience.
Are you doing well, Dekumon? Well, then at least that makes two of us. I cannot keep such important news from you, Dekumon. Lady Levia and Quimperson.
Yeah, I just lost their names completely. Lady Viviva and Quimperin.
Just last night, they fell victim to another ambush at the hands of bandits. I swear they're bandit magnets at this point. The ever-resourceful Quimperin proved his invaluable worth once again with a dashing display of chivalry that would shame any knight in the sea. A statement that attests to the sorry state of our knights. But that is a chat we can have over a different cup of tea. When Lady Leviva attempted to retire to a room at that filthy inn in the Broom, I had our sorely disused second floor cleared and furnished with trappings for my own home. She's up there right now, and asked to see you the moment you arrived.
Oh. Okay. Well, this is a damn short quest.
Already done with this one.
Wait, you don't seem that all surprised to see me here. Did Shanakor tell you of the attack? Oh, damn the fool! And I told him to keep his mouth shut. Though, I suppose I must bear some of the fault for ever thinking he could do as he was told.
You alright, man?
He's just like, I'm fine.
Now, I suppose you are wondering why I summoned you here to these makeshift chambers, and no, it has not to do with the bandit attacks. It appears are much more common in your realm than I thought. There are times when the heavens may provide you with a vision of a future that is slightly beyond your original aim. In these cases, the stars are not flawed, only out of order. So, by shuffling a card back into the deck, we are in no way ignoring or denying a future, merely postponing a reading intended for a later date, and replacing it with something that better pertains to the present. I trust that you will pick up this technique swifter than Janakard did.
So this is where you'd get the redraw skill. Instead, they decided to give me Aspected Helios, which is, I believe, the regen AoE heal. Alright, next up, Slings and Arrows, another 40 quest.
Are you ready, my pupil? The gate to the fourth heaven awaits. However, the location I have chosen for attunement will not remain the most optimal for long. You are to travel with Shanakard, and I will make the journey with Quimperin. There are no objections. Good.
And tell me where we're going now. Oh, I guess Shanakard will tell me. Alright, where are we going?
If it is Lady Laviva you seek, she just left with Quimperin for Limsa Lominsa. If you make haste, you may still be able to catch them at the airship landing. Me? As much as I would like to indulge myself on the pillars of Rotaro pleasure barges, there is a congress to be held in the vault, and all the prominent houses have been summoned. My presence at such an event would be sorely missed, so I fear this next lesson must needs be proceeds without me. I'm certain the Lady Laviva will understand. I can always open the third gate another day. Or was it the fourth? Third or fourth. It is of no matter. The stars certainly will not be going anywhere.
Well, that part's true enough. And as usual, it is a zoo here in Limsa. It's always a zoo here in Limsa.
My lord, the Lady Laviva is missing. We disembarked the airship together, but became separated in the chaos at the landing. Seeing as how the lady has found herself the victim of bandit attacks twice since arriving in Eorzea, I fear she may be targeted once again.
Actually, wouldn't it be 3 times at this point?
Especially considering the location. This is my first time setting foot in Limsa Lominsa, but I have been made aware of its landmarks. Might I suggest we search independently, so that we might cover more ground? I shall start with several of the seemingly more disreputable locations, such as the Drowning Wench, the Elysia, and the Missing Member. Would my lord be so kind as to search Fisherman's Bottom and the Coral Tower? Let us meet again at the 7th Sage once our survey is complete.
You're gonna make me go looking around in Limsa? Oh, that sucks.
Interesting, this person has a name.
Oh, right, you're part of the Rogues Guild. Of course, I don't have a voice for you yet.
20-odd summers since I spelled from me ma's loins, and it once I ever heard the word Astrologian. Now, in the span of 2 bloody bells, I gone and met myself not one, but an honest to goodness pair of livestock goppers. I didn't see what that other far-skinned lass bucket off to, though. Once as that, though, often up on the pleasure barges, if you catch my drift.
That's not good. Oh, well, there's one.
Another Astrologian? How odd. It is not often that even in our city-state, known for its diversity, welcomes a single reader of the stars through its gates, let alone 2, and in the same day no less. Yes, I took a few moments from my duties to speak with her about the city-state. She seemed quite interested in our dealings with the Sahagin, the Serpent Reavers, and the Garlean Empire. I told her what I could, but she left after only a few moments. It was as if she thought she was being pursued, but the Charlian was gone before I could assign her a yellow jacket escort.
Now that would have actually been handy. Alright, big guy, what do you got?
Oh, I seen a stuffy lass in rum guard poking her lovely head in holes where I want wanted. 'Tis rare we get one so worldly down in the gurgling belly of the tower. I had the whole training to work out what the fuss was all about. The maid inquired as to where she might find herself a nip or two of some of the strong stuff, so I pointed her in the direction of our resident apothecary, Caliban over at the Seventh Sage.
Oh, alright, Seventh Sage it is.
Gotta go back there anyway. Oh, there's Quimperin.
And there's Calvarian. Or Calvalian, I'm sorry.
Lord Dekumon, I bear good tidings. The Lady Laviva is scheduled to return here with a matter of bells. It seems she entered a contract with Cavalian for the purchase of several of the apothecary's wares.
An interesting girl, that one. Very rarely do we see young maidens walk the Lumensin streets without escort. And almost never do they come to be seeking spice. Still, she did appear quite uneasy, as if being watched or followed. Suspicious, I must say. Not uncommon in our fair city. Might she be in some manner of trouble?
Those few who agreed to speak with me at the Drowning Wench and the missing member claimed the same. My short stay on the Alistia bore no fruit whatsoever. What were you able to find, my lord?
Pretty much more of the same. Definitely sounds like she is being followed.
I see. So we've ascertained that the lady is being followed, and that she is aware of the fact. If that is the case, I believe she will attempt to move somewhere she will be in plain sight of as many people as possible.
She should go to the Aetherite Plaza then.
I doubt that will help in this town. Kidnappings and killings are conducted in broad daylight here, and when they happen, most people just keep their heads down, so as not to have them removed from their shoulders.
Well, damn this town. My lord, I shall set out once more to try and locate Lady Viviva. There is still the chance that she may return here on her own, so I ask that you remain in case she does. If she has not arrived at the rendezvous point by the time our scheduled meeting with Calvin, then we shall both go to the one location that is most populated after the sun falls in Limsa, the Drowning Wench.
Huh. Oh dear. That's always a good sign. As soon as that frickin' duty calls pop up, you're like, I'm about to get into some shit. And once again, it's just randomly nighttime.
It appears that your companion is tied up. Not literally, I hope. Perhaps you should head to the wench and see if she's there like your friend believes. Though I fear that if she do not make it that far, you may never find her again. At least, not alive. Worry not, my study-eyed friend. If by chance she were to arrive after your departure, you have my word that no harm shall come to her while she remains behind the Seven Sages' doors. Of course, as soon as she walks out the doors, then she's fair game again. Inquire with townspeople about Laviva's whereabouts. Car. We have a talking start. Random townsperson. Hello, madame. Do you have anything interesting to say?
A woman in black? What's wrong with the woman standing for?
Lady, I'm not trying to proposition you. I'm looking for a specific person.
Sheesh.
What about you? Anything?
I might have seen a little scurrying off to the Highland.
I hope that's this way, because I have no idea.
It's not like this is well labeled. There you are. The fuck?
Come give me gutter a kill. What? You did not just say that! This is a family-friendly channel! At least to a certain extent.
Good night.
The mouth on this one. Yeah, we got fakes. Alright, let me get myself healed up. Follow me. I fear she may not be able to remain hidden for much longer. Alright, let's go. Assuming you're the real one. Is this the real one or is it another fake? Oh, oh. Fake. Salil, huh? They don't last long. Oh god, of course she can heal herself. Fake Astro still has real skills somehow. Run. This guy's hauling ass. Neither of them, probably. Okay, well, it's clearly the one on the left. Alright. You are the real one. Yep. And it was easy enough to tell once you saw the words that they spoke. I thought she was one of us.
Lady Leviva, you have my apologies. It was my fault I allowed us to become separated. Do not blame yourself, Quimperin. I sensed danger at the landing, and it was my instinct to run, as if I have. I forgot that I could trust you. Unfortunately, by the time I realized such, there was no sign of you. So I did what I could to blend in, choosing crowded places, speaking with as many locals as possible, though all the while feeling that there were unseen eyes watching my every move. By the time I realized that my pursuers were simply leading me away from you, night had already fallen, giving them the perfect opportunity to strike. It was then that I witnessed several of the bandits had disguised themselves in garbs similar to mine. I assumed this was to confuse the two of you, still searching for me. It was then that I conceived the idea to play the part of an imposter myself. Why hide in the shadows when you can hide in plain sight?
Oh. The three.
That was quite brilliant of you, Lady Leviva. May I ask, were you at any time able to discern who these pursuers were? The amount of effort put into your capture would suggest they are more than mere pirates looking to sell you to slavers. Unfortunately, no. And I wasn't about to walk up and ask them who they were or who had hidden them. But that is all behind us now. Let's see if we can salvage something from this horrible night. The fourth gate ascends nearby, Dekumon. Shall we not see it made yours? To the anchor yard.
No, her little slip made me think she was another fake for a second. There's also the fact that I haven't yet seen a duty complete pop up. Well, that's concerning.
Well, I'll be a barnacle on a kraken's ass. It ain't the Stark Open unless they come to scry us our fortunes. Tell us, which one of you'll be dying first like? The beat red knight with a carpenter's cod piece? Or the stern-faced venturer on his high-hobby horse?
God damn it! How many pirates are in this godforsaken hell?
Lady, this is a freaking pirate town. I saw that nod. I reiterate, pirate town. Alright, start cleaning house here. Interesting, the captain's the one staying back, playing the role of the scholar. Hold on, oh god, I didn't realize his health was getting that low. Also, I gotta knock some dots off his ass. Instead, give him a shit ton of free cards. Alright. Now for the big one. Oh, you little bitch, get back here! Oh, god dang it. And me without an AoE skill. Actually, no. I'll reiterate, no AoE skills yet. I have AoE heal skills, I don't have any AoE damage skills yet. Oh, hold up. There is an actual healer over here, and they need to disappear. Oh, we're getting assistance? We are getting assistance. This one's stubborn. He really wants my ass. Alright, let's deal with this captain. Uh-oh, summon. I don't have an interrupt skill. What'd she oh, she summoned a carbuncle. Well, she's toast regardless. All you were told, huh? That's interesting. Told by who? Told by who, madame? She's not gonna be one for talking, is she? Uh-oh. Bonk! You got a carbuncle in the face!
Lay down them weapons, or I'll cut the old man a new grin under his chin. I cannot believe that actually worked. Nor can I. But then again, never have I fought someone so credulous. Now let's do this as they do in the Fear Babes. You step over here, I let the man go. Easy peasy.
Oh, is it the uncle?
Wait, I know you. You're the bandit leader who attacked Lady Leviva's grandfather in the Black Shroud.
Yeah, that's her.
Someone has good memory for being so on in years. Well then, this changes everything. First off, I can finally drop this annoying pirate accent. And secondly, I suppose I can simply kill you now, rather than after pretending to let you go once the lady is drawn close enough.
Oh shit. Yeah, my pirate accent no good, sorry. It's been far too long since I've had to practice that, and I really should. Uh-oh, backup's coming. But I don't think it's hers. Stop right there. Unhand that man, or I'll have your head tarred and on the prow of a galley by cockcrow.
First maniacal marauders, then feline fishers, and now the Commodore of the Swiven Thermal-Coracic Navy. How many more gods is this machine going to drop on me? Until next time, Lady Leviva.
And she knows her name. Now I'm really confused who's hired him.
You have my apologies. I was a fool to fall for that bandage trick.
Don't worry too much about it.
Amazing. In all my years, that was the first time I've ever seen that feigning death trick actually work. But now is not a moment to be dwelling on our many failings. I have a dastard to apprehend. You would be surprised how often people run after being told to stop right there.
Yeah, not really.
Lady Leviva, that pirate, she was the same bandit who... I heard, I know, and that changes little, for I still have no idea who she may be, or who she may be working for. There is naught we can do until the Commodore brings the woman to justice, or until she decides to attack us again. What we can do is what we came here for, Dekumon's training.
Ay, ay, ay. Alright, lay gate number 4 upon my head.
Now, look to the stars and behold the arrow.
The arrow? I was a bard once.
The fourth heaven, or the heaven of wind, was created atop a lofty peak by Ocean the Wanderer, whose footsteps has been guided by the Navigator.
I thought the Navigator was water aspected.
The wind that blows off luminant seas guides the arrow fast and true, and so it shall deliver the weary souls of those trapped in the mire of confusion, indecision, and over-contemplation. The fourth heaven has opened its gates, allowing you to access to its sacred potentia. From this day forth, its power is yours to interpret and wield.
Lady, I've been interpreting all 6 for a good long while. But it's nice of you to try.
That power will further aid you as you continue to hone your skills. Now, let us return to Ishgard. I have a few words for a certain student of mine who felt inclined to forego this particular lesson.
Don't be too hard on him. He had a big meeting to deal with. The arrow blazes, unlocking the gate to the fourth heaven. Alright, Shanaquad, let's see you wiggle out of this one.
Dekumon, you may not have the decency to warn me that Lady Laviva was in a mood with me for not joining you. She seemed to think that I was to blame for your misadventures. Now why would that be? It's not as if my being there would have prevented the bandits from attempting to abduct Laviva. These being the same bandits who attacked you in the Black Shroud, which by the way is another location I was not at. This is plainly something far beyond our control. And furthermore, it is not as if I was merely sipping cordials and waltzing with baronets. I was helping further our cause. I spoke with several high-ranking cardinals about Lady Laviva being granted the opportunity to speak at the vault regarding Garlean astrology. What do you think of that, I was, well, politely turned down, of course, but it is the gesture that will one day lead to another gesture, which will one day lead to a head slightly inclined in the general direction of another gesture. Little steps, my protege, little steps.
Too little for my liking. Get shit done, and that's my motto. Next up, you were right.
Greetings. Your timing, my friend, is impeccable, for it just so happens that at this very moment I have need of your assistance. While our lovely Lady Laviva has been out making herself a target for every cutthroat cur in the realm, I have been focusing my efforts on our main objective. Training? Pah! There'll be time enough for training later. No, I speak of our ultimate goal of spreading knowledge of the Garlean school of astrology throughout the Holy See. As you know, the Vault recently turned down my request to allow Lady Laviva to speak before them. But I am not one to be turned away so easily. No, I have a plan. I will entreat Chief Astrologian Folomon to drop an official recommendation. The Vault will not so quickly dismiss the words of a man of such standing. Yes, I know mine uncle loathes me with a passion rarely seen even in young lovers, and there is really no reason why he would aid our cause, being a staunch opponent of change and all. But that does not mean we cannot try. And if we fail, well, then we can try again, and again, and again until he is so annoyed that he simply writes his recommendation just to see us out of his thinning hair. And by we, I mean you, of course. Considering how red the Chief Astrologian became the last time I visited him, I reason it would be detrimental to my uncle's health, and mine, should I arrive at his place of research. And we most certainly would not want him to fall ill of collapse before he's penned us that recommendation.
I have to think that your uncle's the one trying to catch Lady Laviva, but sure. Note to self, there is a roof access for this building. It makes it a lot easier to get to this upper section. And you already. Who do I see disturbing me this fine evening but Jarnaquad's new manservant? I suppose you came here for this. Jarnaquad never ceases to amaze, does he? Not only does the lout have the nerve to ask me, for aid, but then he refuses to do me the common courtesy of accepting that aid in person. Even the entitled little shite, more worried about his popularity amongst the fair sex and how his actions disgrace his family name. The slackjaw. I suppose you are wondering why in the world I, of all people, would agree to such nonsense. Well, it is simple. Allowing the heathen astrologian to dig her own grave in front of the entire vault in the Ishgardian astrologian community will only serve to accomplish what I wished from the very start. Garlean astrology has no place in Ishgard. It has no place in Eorzea. There's no place in this world. It is dangerous, and it serves no purpose but to take our eyes off what is truly important, using astrology to free us from the dragon menace and ensure man's return to Helone's kingdom. Laviva's dithering will only make it that much clearer. And Jarnaquad, perhaps this will finally spell his downfall. He has only been allowed to continue this nonsense because he is harmless, too caught up in the luxury of being in line to counter Durander's title to actually put forth any real effort in furthering his, cause.
Charlene astrology is but an oddity, which he can boast about and balls to get him in bed with the slatternly maids of lower houses. His father is protected him thus far, but allowing him and his lady to speak, there will be no brushing this under the rug to shame that brings forth. Janacrod will be finished.
Yeah, I don't trust the uncle at all. Alright, I got the dang letter.
Now inform me right away once Chief Astrologian Fallenwalt has denied my request for a letter of recommendation, so we might begin to work on our next request.
No, believe it or not, he actually gave us one.
Oh, is this? It cannot be. But it is. The seal is Fallenwalt's. How did you... What did he say? Did you threaten him? No, wait. Perhaps it is better that I do not know the details. Well, this changes everything. I will have to arrange another meeting with the Vault, summon the Cardinals to Durandale Manor. We will need wine, and spare us a pheasant, and pheasant stuffed goose, and goose stuffed chocobo, and bards, a whole troop. Not to eat, of course. No, I fear that I will no longer be able to join you in Lady Viva's next opening of the gates. Do give her my regards, though, when you next see her in Mordona.
Huh. The game is trying really hard to make me sus about this guy. Oh dear, wait. Another Ashgardian Astral... Oh. What in the heck is going on here? Those are Ashgardians.
For once, we were not the bandits' targets. We came across this young woman as she was being dragged into the hills. Though we drove her abductors away, I suspect that they have already mustered the courage for a second attack. It is a good thing that you arrived, at least, when you did.
This girl claims she is a student at the Ethereum, and recently overheard Janacrod mention we would be conducting another gate opening in Mordona. She journeyed here on her own in hopes of having the chance to witness your astromancy firsthand.
I say we give her something to remember.
Indeed. Oh my goodness, here we go again. First things first. Dish him all the cards. And hey, look, I have gravity now, awesome. I can AoE with the best of them.
Go.
Here comes more. Oh, I'm not hitting him multiples with that. We're gonna get these guys off the Astro here. Hey, get off of her. That's the leader, eh? Another one in the Scholar School. Although this one's a dude. Rye Slave? Has he got an Eggy or something? Close enough to it. Oh god, I did not realize how low his health was. I was not watching his HP. He's got a dot on it too, there we go. I think of that damn bandit leader. There we go. I know, I could have taken the summon out first. Actually, I imagine that's what the game expected me to do.
You have my apologies, Lady DeViva. I did not think... Oh, your only fault was an insatiable thirst for knowledge. A realm where one must apologize for being a victim is no realm worth living in. But why would those men attack me?
I think they thought that you were Laviva.
I believe it is now quite obvious that these bandits were not meant for you, but for me. It would seem that certain parties fear the spread of Charlene astrology, and will stop at naught to prevent it. My Charlene constellation chart! The bandits! It must have been torn when they seized me! Here, you may take mine. I have the stars committed to memory, after all. Plus, I could probably just get another one made. I don't know how I'll ever be able to. Oh, but I will think of something. Just you wait. I will repay this kindness tenfold.
I always get super suspicious. Now I feel like she's a plant, just to try and get the star chart. Yeah, especially with that face.
Lady Laviva,
You mentioned something about certain parties wanting to prevent the spread of Garlean astrology. Have you any idea who they might be? I do, but I shall require more proof before I can be certain. You and Dekumon should be able to assist me with that. However, as they say, first things first, we have a gate to open.
Yep, we do. 5 of 6. Really, I expected you to have me do it right here in the cutscene instead of dropping me out and just having to wait, but sure. I don't mind. Problem is, every time I see a weird look, I always think everybody's suspicious because of it, so it's hard to tell. I still think the uncle's the big sus. But part of me also thinks that Astrologian might have been a plant.
There, the Ewer. Focus, Dekumon. Focus and let the constellation's ether twine with your own.
The Ewer. Isn't this one the pot?
It is said through the fifth heaven flows a mighty river carrying the water spilled forth from the scholar's vessel.
Ah, yes.
And in that water is the strength of all that have come before and all who will follow. Thus spun from Nimi's loom, through from which might and metal is weaved.
Yep. The big pot of water.
And now the power of the Ewer is forever yours, and forever shall it point you to victory. While I cannot forgive our patron for skipping yet another of his lessons, I cannot deny that the passion hidden deep beneath all his posturing may have its uses. Word of our field is spreading, and our inherent nature has begun to stir. Curiosity is proving the better motivated than skepticism and faith. Our time may come soon.
You can tell this was a Heavens Were Made quest line because 1, there's more nods, and 2, is slightly better camera angles. The Ewer blazes, unlocking the 5th heaven. Alright, Janiquard, you missed another good one.
Do not tell me. Lady Laviva was attacked again. I knew it. And without a reading, my talents grow by the day. Wait, what is this you claim? A fellow Astrologian was moved by my words and went to witness the unlocking? That is amazing. I wonder who it could be, though. I would certainly recall speaking in detail with a young, supple mind. I must find this woman and hold another special lesson with her. Oh my god.
He is a lech!
Lesson? That reminds me. Lady Laviva asked me to teach you a new technique before you head to open the 5th Heaven's Gate, which you have already gone and done. But it appears you were able to overcome your ordeal without it. Yes, exactly according to my lesson plan. You used to wish me to teach you the technique. Very well then, though I do not really see the point.
Dude, it's a freaking ability. Of course I want it. Especially considering that I think I know what it is. Yep, I was right. It's gravity. Alright, our level 50. Although I think there's 2 level 50s actually. Loved by the sun.
Oh, Lady Laviva tells me that you are nearly ready to open the 6th and final gate. Yes, I said final. We all know that there are 7 heavens, but opening the 7th is impossible. Well, except upon death, of course. An attempt to attune to the pole star would be sheer madness, and most certainly spell your doom. But look at me. Even now attempting to attune to the great Dekumon, when it is obvious your talent far surpasses mine. Forgive me. Lady Laviva has yet to depart from the location of the final gate. Doubtless she fears yet another bandit attack, but whatever the reason, she remains on the 2nd floor, and has asked that you visit her at your earliest convenience.
I suspect she's thinking about some sus people.
Oh, you have come far since that fateful day our paths first crossed in the Black Shroud, and now here we are, on the cusp of your attunement with the 6th heaven. Time truly waits for no man, does it? Before we set forth on this task, I wish to teach you of a technique known as synastry. By temporarily enjoining your fate with that of your companions, they will reap the star's benefit as you do. As a passable journeyman astrologian, you already wield sufficient control over ether. You need only focus it upon establishing a bond with your chosen ally to achieve synastry.
Oh, I see. This was just a, oh by the way, here, have a level 50 skill. Kinda surprised I kept that quest in, but hey, that's me. At least it's actually the skill she's talking about. Anyway, our final Astrologian quest for today, Spearheading Initiatives.
I believe you are ready to attune with the final constellation. The location of the next lesson is actually not far. I assume your travels have taken you to Camp Dragonhead? Yes? Excellent. I, as always, will go ahead to make the final readings. If each of our previous outings are any indication, the bandit Rotarius will most certainly jump at the opportunity, so I would have Quimperin scout the area ahead of time and report any suspicious activity to the knights garrisoned at the camp. Let someone else bloody their hands for a change, I say. Feel free to tell Janicourt of our plans, though I not doubt he already has some of his own.
Oof. She half sounds like she suspects Janicourt as opposed to him just slacking and, being a lech.
Lady Neviva has already departed? Well, then she must have leaped from the window, for I did not see her use the front door. I dare say this means we will be traveling alone. Well, of course I will be attending. Why wouldn't I be?
Well, that's a first. You missed the last two. Why am I not surprised that there's another duty calls here? I am surprised there's a fate going on now. Excuse me.
Alright. Dekumon and Shaniquad? Well then, it appears that giving my constellation map to that Astrologian in Wrathfold was unwise, as my readings for the location of the Sixth Heaven have proven slightly off. However, a second calculation has shown me that we are close. The optimal location lies just to the north of here in a derelict tower known as the Steel Vigil.
You've the look of the learned about you. Might I ask if you've seen this star map before? It was on the person of an Astrologian who came to us seeking help after being attacked. Oh, god dang it, she got mistaken for the person again.
That is my map. The one I gave to the Astrologian in Wrathforst. Do you mean to tell me she was set upon again?
Your map? Well, then I'm gonna have to ask you to accompany me for questioning. The Astrologian claims she wrested this chart from one of our assailants before escaping their grasp. Son of a bitch, she did set us up.
Lady Neviva, why would you assault the self-same woman you risked your life saving?
Because she did not, my lord.
Why would you even think something so foolish?
This must be some sort of misunderstanding. I was present at the assault. We saved the young maid of which you speak from a party of bandits, and Lady Neviva gave her own constellation map to replace the one damaged by her assailants. My lord Dekumon here was also witness to these proceedings. That I was. Well, we have our own witnesses who say otherwise. So until we can have a trial and an adjudicator who can pass this judgment, Miss Neviva will have to come in for questioning, for she herself has admitted the map is hers.
It is all right. I have not to hide, and arguing here will not bring us any closer to the truth. If anything, I wish to confront this woman who would bring false accusations against those who saved her life.
I think we should follow, because I have a feeling these guys are either bandits or, again, we were being set up by the lady.
Very well then. Take me where you will. I shall answer all of your questions, and you will soon learn who is spouting falsehoods. My friends, you need not worry over much, for I shall be in the company of Temple Knights, when no harm might befall me. I will return once I have proven my innocence.
I half think these guys aren't actually Temple Knights. Yep. They're not really Temple Knights, they're fakes.
No harm, quotha.
That knight was the selfsame Astrologian whom we saved in Moldona.
The Astrologian who now claims we attacked her! Are you saying the Astrologian was a Temple Knight?
No, I'm saying she was a bandit.
No, my lord! I'm saying the Astrologian is no more an Astrologian than she is a knight. I'm saying we've been played. We've fallen victim to a ruse that has landed Lady Neviva in the hands of those who've been attempting to kill her since she first set foot in Eorzea. Then, you are saying she won't be safe in the presence of those Temple Knights? I'm saying they're not Temple Knights, you idiot! Those weren't Temple Knights, my lord. However, they were wearing the colors of our Knights Most Heavenly, and if we were to assault them this near the heavily garrisoned Camp Dragonhead, we would be struck full of arrows before anyone asked us why we withdrew our blades. No, we must shadow Lady Neviva's captors and wait for an opportunity to take her back. Oh, how exciting! Can I take point? No, of course not.
Yeah, no, better let me and the big guy do it. Follow the false Temple Knights.
Yes, I say we keep our distance until an opportunity to rescue Lady Neviva presents itself.
Actually, that's what I've been saying all along.
Cute.
What wonder how far I have to go before I'm successfully out of follow range. My goodness, I want to blast this guy. I see random monsters spawning out in the distance. That's cute. I can't do anything until they're far enough away. This sucks. Really should have skipped this first part, guys. Should have just let them be like, you know what, we're gonna teleport to the point where we actually can fight them. And again, maybe we need to get to that monster that'll, you know, peel off a few, because there's quite a few enemies here. You know, and I am downsynced. You bring us some meat for the journey. Yep, that's the plan here. A few are gonna peel off. Our imposter Astrologians let the company see. Let's take her unawares. Yep. Thought so. Take all the buffs, buddy. Familiar Temple Knight. Yeah, well, she's familiar, alright. Alright, unfortunately, I think we still have to deal with the trash. Barely a whipper. The woman is the same one who assisted in Mordona. No surprise there. What is he doing? His AoE is coded, or his AI is coded a little weird there. Uh-oh. I'll peel off another one. No reason not to while we get half a chance. Of course, now I got a pair of dragons to play with. Oh, crud. Don't tell me they have an airship. They have an airship. We're gonna actually have to fight them now. His AI pathing is coded a little funny. What do we got? So there's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 knights. Including, I see one Kyurgen. We cannot wait for stragglers file in, yeah. Okay, someone just broke off the pack. There we go. Gotta make sure that he doesn't make it back to his friends. Wow, that did a lot of damage. Have some free heals. This is literally just us following these guys slowly. Oh, that's kind of an irritating little mission. You gotta wait for one of them to break off and then just not be part of the pack. We got one more that's gonna split off, or are we just gonna have to fight the group here? Oh, yep, there's one. Really? The healer just split off? Well, that's not gonna end well for you, sir. Cannot believe you were that stupid. You guys are not the most observant. My friend, you could, like, you know, go back to your walk cycle. He's trying so hard to run at that snail's pace. Hope this isn't gonna fail us because we made it to the end here. We got as many as we could. Nope, it did not throw up a duty failed, so this is definitely what the game was expecting us to do, peel off as many as we could. And there's the airship. You are not who I was expecting to see.
Oh, just as I expected. These fools have led me straight to the answers I've sought since my arrival in this backwoods realm. And if I'm not mistaken, my trusted companion should be arriving right about... Oh, there they are. Now, I'll be taking this.
Yoink! Thaumaturge.
The moment you lift off on that airship, this whole land will know you are not true Temple Knights, and you will be made to answer for your crimes.
Old world thaumaturge. Once we're in the air, it won't matter what anyone knows, you fool. We'll be not returning once we have you slain, you and your friends. Oh.
No one shall stand in the way of my fate, especially not some dog's body of the Forum.
I was wrong! It wasn't the uncle at all. It's a Charlian who's been causing us all the trouble. Some Charlian that doesn't want the knowledge of Astrologian to end up in Ishgard at all. No wonder they fold so easily. They're all freaking bookworms. Oh god, there's a lot of you people all of a sudden. We got a clean house here. Alright, almost all of them are dead at this point. Get some combust going. Gather the missive. Come on. What do we got? Oh, alright. We got the end of the duty. Thank goodness. Alright. Time to see where this goes.
Oh, of course I knew the Temple Knights were false. I recognized the Astrologian we saved almost immediately, and I find it insulting that they believed that I would not. I also knew that they would lead me to the true perpetrators if I played along, fully aware that you, loyal three, would follow. And I am pleased that you also knew we would somehow crawl our way after that little tussle was our lives, because I was uncertain for most of the journey. Well, I was certain Dekumon would make it, for the stars have already told me he would unlock the 6th gate here at the Steel Vigil, the very location we ended up at, despite our unexpected ordeal. Your fate, Shanaquad. Well, I never bothered reading it, for I thought that you would skip the lesson like you have every other one.
I reiterate, not half of the one was his fault.
Dekumon, gaze upon the night sky and open your soul to the final constellation, the Spear.
The Spear.
The Spear is the gate to the 6th heaven, where the Fury resides in a palace of ice carved by her own spear. Ice formed of moonbeams collected by the lover Menfina. The spear fills us not only with the power to overcome our enemies, but also the compassion that is necessary to grant those same enemies mercy. And now that power is yours, to see directed to those whose fates require it. It is done. You have attuned yourself to the 6 lower heavens, and now that you know their strength, the true journey begins.
Yeah, of course it does, because I would still have 10 more levels at this point in the game's history. The Spear blazes, unlocking the gate to the 6th heaven. Alright, Shanaquad, what do you have to say for yourself?
Well, you have my congratulations, Dekumon. What has taken me more than 15 summers to accomplish, you have done, and more in a matter of moons. But our time together has taught me that despite what we may believe they are, we all have our roles, and each role is just as important as the other. Without taking both Quimperin and you under my wing, you would have never saved Leviva from her assailants, meaning in a way I saved Lady Leviva. Not that I want to take all the credit for such heroism, of course.
Yeah, sure. By the way, who wrote this?
Nor shall I take credit for this missive that never would have been discovered were it not for taking you and Quinlan under my wing. Ah, that cold stare. It befits this godforsaken place. Point taken. Let us break the seal and see what we... Why, this handwriting. I have seen it many a time before. It is mine uncle's.
But that would mean I was right. The uncle was the cause. He's the one that called Charlene and said, get this lady out of here.
It would mean the highest-ranking Astrologian in all Ishgard has been attempting to assassinate us. If the tribunal were to hear of this, he would be hanged. And hanging will only earn us another ill-tempered Orthodox Astrologian, unwilling to open his eyes to the benefits of our discipline. No, we can use this missive to our advantage. As long as this remains in our hands, so too does the Chief Astrologian. Are you saying we use this missive to blackmail Formant, my uncle? I am saying we merely grant the Chief Astrologian his life in exchange for a little assistance in furthering our just and noble cause. No more, no less. I see. You are quite the devilet, my dear. Very well. I will summon mine uncle to the astroscope. There we can present him with our offer.
And I imagine the end of my quest. Yep, thought so. Ah, interesting. We actually have to catch him up here at the roof. This should be fun. Let me guess, if he acts up, we get to throw him off the roof. Ooh, I like that. After all, the guy has been trying to get us killed all this time.
Why must you insist on pestering me, Shanakrat? I gave you your letter, now leave me be.
Ah, but that would not be the only letter you have written lately, now would it? Perhaps you recall a certain letter to the Forum?
This?
A letter carried by a party of less than savory characters who attempted to kidnap Lady Laviva and deliver her to Sharlians, not to mention killed me, my manservant, and my good friend Dekumon here, who you may have forgotten is currently an honored guest of House Fortempt. A letter drawn up and signed by none other than you, Nuncle. Oh, but do not presume to misunderstand us. We wish neither your disgrace nor your death, at least not at our hands. In fact, we wish very little from you. Not, you might say, in the sense that you are to never again use your influence to hamper our efforts at spreading Sharlian astrology here in Ishgard. Involve yourself no more in the affairs of me and my guests, and your secret remains safe. I will even forgive you for trying to have me murdered, if that is you give me your word.
It's not as if you've left me much choice. You have my word, but know that silencing me will not make your nonsense any more accepted in the vault. There are others who will see you fall, others who care little whether or not I speak my peace.
And we are fully aware of the peaks we have let to scale, and the hard heads I have to crack open. However, we shall not let that discourage us. I have been shown a path that I altogether plan on walking, and the stars shall guide my way.
The stars foretell many things, my dear, and not even the best readers can see them all. Do not forget this. I know I certainly won't.
So we have silenced him, but to hear him tell it, he was the least of our worries.
Yep. That is definitely true. And with that, my friends, we are done. Yeah, no big fanfare for this one because the next quest is also a 50 and I expect you to pick it up right here, where I will be waiting to do that, just not today. If you have enjoyed this, please leave a like and favorite, and subscribe to join me for more Eorzean job listings, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.